Welcome to Dysfunctional Adults, the comedy podcast in which we discuss weird news, pop culture, and being middle-aged dads. Yeah. We are bitter, cynical Gen Xers saddled with crippling debt and depressingly past our primes. But that's what makes this podcast so much fun.
Howdy, 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 howdy.
I love that bass breakdown.
I know. I just like picturing you wearing like a turtleneck and a beret.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah.
Just smoking a cigarette, you know, with
shades on, even
half
though
moon
it's
shades.
the daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
In the low lit brick bar, you know?
Does he have a hat with like a feather in the band?
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see it.
That sounds about right.
Oh, yeah. Reminds me of that movie, So I Married an Axe Murderer, you know, where he does the beat poet stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, how you gents doing?
I'm well.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Awesome. I'm stinky, and I apologize. Yeah, well,
We didn't want to say anything, but now that you do,
I'll
yeah.
freely admit it. Our washer does this thing. So we have a smart washer, and it's like growing up. I remember we just put the clothes in this, you know, the washer, and it would do its thing. Apparently, this one sings songs, and it's like got all these sensors, and it gets like, it's just really like high maintenance.
It's a snowflake.
Exactly. So every like few weeks, probably every 2 months, I'm exaggerating, there's this filter that gets like clogged up, and then the washer stops working. But it's a pain in the ass to get the filter clean. You have to drain the water, and then you have to pull the filter out, clean it, and put it back in. So 3 days have gone by since I've had clean clothes. So without,
You just pick up one from like the top of the pile, smell it, put it back, pick up another one, smell it, and shrug and put it on anyway.
I've had I'm not a teenager anymore. No, I've had clean outer garments. It's my underclothes that I have not had a fresh supply, and so I've not been able to shower because it's gross putting dirty clothes.
Like,
Do you douse yourself in Raid just so the smell doesn't come
Raid, like the bug killer.
Is that not what we use? Is that not?
I use Old Spice, but I mean, if you want to use Raid,
Well, you know.
so anyway, that's why I'm unwashen and slovenly. So
We don't care. We love you.
yeah, well, I apologize.
We pretty much expected at this point.
I did fix it today though, so I've got washing clothes right now, so I can shower tonight. But yeah, you know, first world problems.
Yeah, first world problems.
Stinky
Have a
Jason.
snowflake of a washing machine.
Some you know, some Russian orphans like, I have not been able to bathe in 3 months because my father's been in the gulag.
Aww. Poor Russian orphan.
All the water available is pea water.
Orphan spelled O-R-F-E-N.
So yeah, that's why I stink. So
All right.
All right.
podcast over.
It was a good one.
Why Jason Stinks, Part 1.
What have you guys been up to?
We just embraced our inner redneck. We went to the Monster Jam last Friday.
It's like a monster truck.
The Monster
thing?
Truck Rally, yeah, with
Oh,
Grave
nice.
Digger and all those ones.
Nice.
They had a Scooby-Doo car, and they had a shark car, and a dinosaur one.
Nice.
Be real. Did you or the kids enjoy it more?
The kids weren't even there, so I guess it would have had to have been between my wife and I. We looked at the tickets, and they were too expensive to buy 5 of them. So,
Like, sorry, kids. I know you'd love this, but
I think they would have liked it for like the first half hour, but I think they would have got bored by the end.
you're staying home, and your favorite babysitter, Alexa, is going to watch you.
Yeah, no, it was our normal date night, so my mom watched them. But, you know, I had to grow out my mullet to fit in and
Yeah.
wear a big old buckle and, you know, have a cheek full of chewing tobacco.
I want to see
You
this
don't want
version
people
of
to
John.
think that, you know, I'm not really one of them. You have to blend in when you go into something like that.
Did you wear like the cutoff jean shirt?
Daisy Dukes?
No.
I wore those.
Oh, don't think that's redneck. I think that's just trashy.
Yeah, the cutoff wife beater shirt with the pit stains
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the bandana
Nice.
to hide my luxurious mullet.
Yeah, if you went there normal, they'd be like, "Oh, a normal person, get him."
He's not welcome here.
You should have had Laura like pregnant, like put a basketball in her shirt, so she looks pregnant. And
She's like holding an infant in like each arm and then pregnant with another one.
But you make her go to the beer tent to get you beers, and she still has to hold the children.
You bring your own beer cooler.
There you go.
I would have fit right in, but no, it was fun. I mean, that's not the type of thing I usually do, but it's different
Because you have self-respect.
Well, what else can you do on like date nights in the winter? There's just not much to do. Everything's closed. It's dark. It's cold. There's no good movies that come out after Christmas.
That's true.
There's like nothing to do, so you have to look for new stuff to do.
Yeah. How was your hearing the next day?
For the
Hearing, not judge court hearing.
Oh.
But I like how there was a choice of which hearing. Wait, for which thing?
That one's still pending, so we'll talk about that one in a future episode.
There's a gag order.
It was pretty loud. I didn't lose my hearing, but yeah, it was quite loud. They do recommend bringing earplugs, but.
And you recommend they go to hell, those commie bastards?
Exactly.
It's like your body, your rights.
I'm over 40. I've lost half my hearing by this point anyway.
And damn it, you're an American.
America, damn it. You can't tell me what to do.
That's fake news.
Sounds like it was a fun time, though.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It's different.
I went to a demolition derby a couple years ago.
Those are awesome.
I didn't think I'd like it, but it was fun.
They're fun.
Yeah.
I haven't been to one of those in a long time.
I want to drive one of the cars.
I saw one that was a bit scary because one of the cars like careened into the crowd.
Did it kill many people?
No, but like I guess the gas pedal got stuck down, so they couldn't stop, and they smashed through the barrier and like
as it
went into
be.
the seats as the people were like scattering.
That's why you sign the waiver before you go in.
Yeah.
Did they not make you guys sign a waiver?
For the Monster Jam?
No, for
the Demolition Derby. I don't remember. This is like
remember.
I'm kidding. There's no waiver.
There's probably not, but this is like 15 years ago, so there might have been. I wouldn't remember. Zach, I remember going to a motocross event with you at the Maverick Center. Like, there's like,
oh yeah,
me, you, Richard. I don't remember if JT was there, but this was like 20 years ago. It was like right out of high school. We went to a motocross thing at the Maverick Center.
Motorcycles.
Yeah, the motorcycles doing the jumps, and the drivers are doing, handstands and.
I used to do that.
I thought you were going to say hand stuff. They were doing hand stuff.
There was a little bit of that at the Monster Jam too, the motocross stuff, like in intermission and stuff. But it was, yeah.
I used to do that. Played Excite Bike, man.
Oh, that yes.
High stakes on that.
That's the same thing, really.
I tried it recently.
It's the same skill set. If you can do it on the old NES, you could do it in real life.
Right.
That's what I assume.
That's what I assume, and so I've never tried it because I know I can do it.
Yeah, I felt the same way about Duck Hunt. And I couldn't shoot them on the NES, thus I couldn't shoot them in real life.
At Liberty Park when you're
right.
You know what I'd like to
cap
do?
the ducks in the pond.
I wish there was a mode on Duck Hunt that gave you like that gun from the Predator, that one the guy had, that like turret machine gun.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. Just mow down the ducks,
And the dog.
And the dog. that jerk dog who always made fun of me for missing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put him full of holes.
Did you know that the second controller controlled the ducks?
I did after the fact.
Yeah.
I do remember that we did figure that out, but it took us a while, probably a couple years.
Yeah,
I do remember as a kid that we finally did figure out that, so we could control it from each other.
You guys were geniuses then.
No, it probably took a year or so at least.
I never figured it out. Oh, I'm dumb.
No, I got tired after 10 minutes every time I played it and started putting the gun up to the screen and like shooting the ducks.
Yeah. Those games, the temptation to cheat is just too strong.
Yeah.
All the shooting games, you could beat them easily because when you got frustrated, just move like 6 inches from the screen and you'd never miss.
My parents got us the Power Pad, probably because I was a chubby kid, and they're like, "Oh, he loves video games. This will make him have to exercise."
Let's hide some exercise and
just lay down.
Nope, I just got on my knees and used my hands. Take that,
you fooled
Mom.
them. Feel like I'm 600 pounds now, but I didn't get that exercise, Mom.
Did you ever get a skateboard too, and you just sat on it or kneeled on it?
No, I never went that far. But
you never went outside.
Well, actually, I did. I played with my friends' skateboards, and we did go down like driveways and stuff. but I would sit on it. I wouldn't stand.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of kid I was.
Oh, I never stood on them either. I knew better.
I knew I'd get hurt.
Yep.
You know, it's like gravity loves me a lot more than it loves my friends who are all like super skinny, skinny kids.
Yeah, yeah.
I still never got into skateboarding though, even though I was skinny when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got into outside, so.
He
Yeah.
went hunting and stuff. He did like man things.
Yeah, my dad used to take us hunting.
Did you kill many animals?
I did kill some rabbits. I remember that.
All of them? Did you kill all of the rabbits?
No, all of them.
He's got like a block. He's like, my dad took us
Not the
hunting
ones
one
we
time."
missed.
And I can't remember what it was, but it comes back to me in my nightmares.
I think we were hunting man.
Yep. You and Luke would get along.
Oh man, that story's been killed to death.
What, the hunting man?
Hunting
oh,
Man.
Yeah.
But I still would watch a movie if they made another one.
Oh, absolutely. It's like watching the new Terminator movies as they come out. It's like, you might as well.
They suck, but I'll go see them.
Yep.
Well, there was like 5 versions of this movie called Silencer that was about hunting man.
Shut up. Shut up.
I've heard of that one. I've heard of that one.
Let's move on.
Should probably post that on
Zach,
Facebook.
what have you been doing?
Well, I went and saw Spider-Man finally.
did you
Oh,
like it?
nice.
Yes, it was really good.
I cut you off on purpose to be funny. I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, there we go.
There we go. All right. Yeah, saw Spider-Man. It was really good. I was really excited. I was hoping for something that didn't happen. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know how long it's been.
It's
been
okay. All
been
the
a few
articles
weeks,
are
right?
talking about it now.
I was just hoping Miles Morales was going to be in it.
Yeah.
I was hoping that would.
They kind of.
There was that one line from
homage to
Electro
him.
where he's like, I was hoping there'd be a black Spider-Man in one
Right.
of these universes.
And I was like, oh, I was so excited that he was going to be in there. And
yeah, that would have been
nothing.
cool. But
They actually made quite a bit of story changes, my understanding. There was supposed to be someone in there called America Chavez. I don't know who she is because I didn't read the comic books, but apparently instead of Doctor Strange, she was the one who opened the portals.
Oh, okay.
But they switched it out because
she hadn't been in it yet.
no,
Doctor
that's not
Strange
the reason.
had.
It was because Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness got slated to be released after instead of before. And so I think she's in that movie.
Ah.
So anyway, that's some inside baseball, I guess.
All
So,
right. Thanks.
I know stuff about movies and comic books like you know stuff about sports. I read like all the entertainment news and stuff on my phone. It's really sad. So
It's
Hey,
not sad. It gives
Whatever
me
keeps you
information.
busy and distracts you from your job
whatever keeps me from masturbating.
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh wow. Just kidding.
Uncomfortable
I'm
silence.
just kidding.
What have you been doing?
Getting in trouble at work again.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Keep it up.
I know. I made a joke today about how my parents didn't want me and got privately told that could be a trigger for some people. So
I mean, yeah, but
You
this
work
is the
in,
world
like-
we live in.
Yeah, you work in like Santa's workshop or something where it's always snowing. There's like snowflakes everywhere at your work.
zing.
Pretty good.
I mean,
Yeah, it was
Frosty the Snowflake is always complaining about you at work.
I know. This is
And it's
time-
not even just one person. There's lots of them.
It's like this is the third different person. So, and then one of my first boss got fired today or quit or something.
For making an inappropriate joke.
No, it was unrelated.
Oh.
But so now I'm like, well, I want that position, but am I going to get it? Because nobody likes me for all my microaggressions.
Oh, microaggressions, yeah.
So it's like, well, maybe I'll just keep looking. Hey, Jason, we saw your application. No, nope.
Nope.
Sorry. In fact, you put like every racist term for different races on the application.
You say just write trigger warning at the top of your application, and
Right.
everything that follows afterwards is fair game.
I'm
Yep,
gonna
that's
create
their
some.
fault for reading it.
I'm gonna create some editing work for Zach. So I'm gonna put like, yeah, I'm as strong as a Negro and as industrious as a Mexican, and as wise as an Indian.
Zach's just shaking his head. It's like, damn you, Jason.
Like, I don't have anything else to do. I still haven't edited the podcast previous to this
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
It's funny.
and as like good with money as a Jew.
Oh, man.
Trigger warning.
There's going to be a lot of bleeps in that one.
The name of this episode is going to be Trigger Warning Jason.
I just need it tattooed on my forehead or something.
Yeah.
Trigger
It's like
warning.
Jason the Human Trigger Warning.
That should be the name of the episode.
Jason the Human Trigger Warning? Yeah. All right, that's it then.
Well, no, it's funny because you used to be able to get away with that in stand-up comedy,
Oh, yeah.
But
Sure, the tongue-in-cheek stuff.
right.
Well, all the comedians are lamenting how comedy is dead because you can't risk offending people anymore like you used to. You have to take chances. You have to be edgy.
But comedy is transgressive by nature. It's offensive by nature.
That's what makes it funny is you're supposed to be edgy and,
right.
push the boundaries, which you can't really do anymore. You play it safe. Safe means boring when it comes to comedy.
That's why I admire Dave Chappelle for kind of standing up, I think he's probably as far apart from me politically as someone can get, but he doesn't back down if he says stuff and people pounce on him. He's like, nah, that's what I said, So anyway.
Yeah, he believes in what he says.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I believe in freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So that's my take. So, and we're canceled.
Bye.
Thanks, Jason.
Hey, we don't need to wax political. You can edit out that opinion piece.
Oh, I can't edit it out. It's staying.
You're good for 4 edits, and then after that, it's like everything else
You just
stays.
stop caring at that point.
He's like, Jason, I'm moving, you bastard.
It's like with kids. I mean, the parents are really strict with their first couple. By the time they have 3 or 4, they just stop caring.
Yeah, they just
the
give
last
up.
ones can get away with whatever the hell they want. The parents have thrown in the towel for years by that point.
I kind of did that.
They just kind of going through the motions.
Not to that degree, but I do remember when I went into parenthood, I had all these preconceived notions about what kind of parent I was going to be and what I was going to do. And my poor oldest son has turned out great, but it's not because of me. I think he just survived my experimental phase. The
thing with parenting, the biggest thing that I realized when I became a parent, I realized that parents don't know what they're doing. We're all just making it up as we go.
Basically.
I didn't realize that as a kid. You expect your parents to have all the answers, but as an
they're
adult,
godlike.
Yeah, as an adult, I realized, man, they really are just making it up as they go. There's no book for this stuff. There's no instruction manual. We're just winging it.
Yep.
Speak for yourselves, man. I'm perfect.
Well, I know
I'm a
that.
great parent. I just do everything right.
With the exception of Zach and a few other people, that's the case. So,
Man, it's terrible. Exactly. They're godlike. Your parents were godlike. So you think that there's some knowledge that's going to be imparted to you as you turn a certain age and have a kid.
No.
Nothing. There's no book.
nope.
The other thing I've realized
So you're on your own.
is how much of grandparenting must be motivated by spite.
Yeah.
Like when you tell your mom stuff that your kids are doing is frustrating you and you expect sympathy, but instead she basically laughs and says, yeah, how's that feel? You and your brothers used to pull that crap with me all the time. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
And then they don't discipline your children. They just
No,
spoil them rotten and send them home.
It's funny. They're so much more lenient with the grandkids than they were with their own kids.
Yep, absolutely.
They have so much more patience and a much
What the hell's up
longer
with that?
fuse because they see them
Patience
once
thing.
a week. They don't have to be with them every day.
Well, I think it's more than that, though, too. Like, my mom saw my kids on a regular basis for a while, and she took care of them, and she still was nicer to them than she was to me.
Yeah.
Like, I got physically disciplined when I was little by both my mom and my stepdad. And I remember being 8, my mom, slapping me, and I deserved it because I was mouthing off. But, she's the sweetest thing to my kids, and always has been.
Yeah, it's funny.
Here's some more candy.
Yeah, Charlie
Do you
can
want
pee his
that toy?
pants, and they're fine with it. But I pee my pants, and suddenly, right next to Charlie.
In your mom's defense, you weren't peeing in your pants. You were arcing
Peeing
it
out of my pants.
it across the living room.
You're right.
Into her drink, and that's just kind of.
Yeah.
That is rude.
But,
I saw a bumper sticker once though that said, "Grandchildren are God's gift for you not killing your own children."
Nice.
And I think that's where grandparenting comes in. It is their reward. We survived to adulthood so they can have kids to spoil that they don't have to discipline now.
Yeah.
They can have the fun parts of parenting without all the bullshit.
You should make that a bumper sticker.
Grandparenting, the good part of parenting without all the bullshit.
Yep.
Oh man. So is that time for a break?
It's time for a break.
All right, let's
All
do
right.
it.
It's now time for listener mail. I just piddled in my pants.
That
was scary.
Quite scary. So, all right. Well, I've got one. Who wants to read it?
I don't care.
I'll read it.
Okay.
I've got one. Who wants to read it?
So it's this one right here. Starts D or DAP.
Okay. Dear DAP, I have never listened to any of your podcasts, and I never would. It's offensive that you would use a serious and legitimate psychological term such as dysfunctional as a joke. There are millions of legitimate dysfunctional adults in the country, and it's not okay to make light of their situation to try and get undeserved attention. Please change the name of your podcast to something more responsible. Sincerely, blank.
Well, that's kind of in line with what we were talking about a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it just me or is it snowing in here? I thought we were recording inside, but there's snowflakes everywhere.
Well, to this anonymous person, I would just like to say that Dysfunctional Adults may be the title of the podcast, but I can assure you that with the exception of John, there's some serious mental illness going on.
I am quite dysfunctional, just myself, and then if you put me and Jason together.
So, and John has his dysfunctional tendencies. He may not be mentally ill, but he's into some pretty freaky crap.
Yeah,
so,
animals.
Well, now I want to fit in now.
Leather.
I can be a deviant.
Car batteries.
Ooh.
Yeah, nipple clamps.
Oh, you can join in.
Jumper cables as nipple clamps.
Yeah, and then flamingos. That's all I'm going to say. So use your imagination.
Alrighty.
What is that?
That's what I imagine a flamingo sounds like.
That's what it sounds like when it's dying.
Yeah. John.
I mean, I don't know.
John's fetish.
Dying flamingos?
Yeah.
I heard about you in the news a few years ago.
Don't kink shame me.
So I assure you, anonymous listener or would-be listener or wouldn't-be listener, as the case may be, we are quite dysfunctional.
This is our term. Dysfunctional is our word.
I don't appreciate the microaggression from that listener. Or not listener.
Right.
So, anyway.
All right. Well, I got one. Or do you want to?
Okay. Mine's short.
Here you go, Jason.
Oh, okay. I get to read it?
Yeah.
Do you know how?
No.
Idiot.
I just make up things. Are there pictures? All right. Dear dysfunctional adults, I am a nutritional biologist. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I just wanted
read on though.
I just wanted to chime in on last week's episode where John mentioned that Jason was trying to get him fat by leaving a 5-pound bag of gummy bears. You can't let this go, can you?
I got science on my side. That's all I'm going to say. Just keep reading.
By leaving a 5-pound bag of gummy bears at the house after their New Year's Eve party. While Jason may have been twirling his 1920s silent movie villain mustache at his devious plot to ruin John's perfectly shredded and lustworthy. He clearly doesn't know anything about nutrition and how calories work. Since Jason paid for that bag of gummy bears, all the calories John stuffed down his unnaturally gorgeous face were actually counting against Jason's own waistline. Free of cost means free of calories, according to recent studies. Was this from the CDC? Oh. True, those studies may have been conducted by bakers at the Glutton Snack Cakes factory in Huntsville, Alabama. Our model is triple the calories of Little Debbie's at only twice the cost. And yes, my nutritional biology degree may be written with a Sharpie on a pair of old jeans, but the science behind the studies is rock solid. No, there's no need to look it up for yourself. Just trust me. Sincerely, Jeff Simmons, nutritional biologist and vice president of the Gluten Snack Cakes Marketing Department Propaganda Division.
Propaganda Division. I love it.
All I can say, dude, is I got science on my side. You're the one who's getting fat from all those gummy bears.
I kind of feel like I'm on John's side now.
I don't need the fat transference to get fat. I'm really good at doing it on my own. I'm day 12 into my New Year's resolutions, and they're like already fading.
Well, I think the science behind this is sound.
It's solid.
It's rock solid.
Okay.
It sounds believable.
Yes.
Fact check true.
Yeah.
By that guy.
Jeff Simmons? Is that his name?
Jeff Simmons.
All right. Here's the one I have. It's really short.
All right. Dear dysfunctional adults, would because am attracted to be your wife? Cook clean only, for it bears to fruit. Please for us you are dear. Reply. Hafi Vabib Ag Fering. Okay, the first name is spelled HAIFYEVAJBB. And then the last name is AJJJFIRG. It's not even like phonetically pronounceable. It's like, oh, Hafiabib Aferurge. I thought you said Hafiabib Agurferurge. It's completely different person. I'd like to see where that one came from.
I don't know, but I don't know what the question is. But what are you replying? Because
something about being our wife, or
yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Grammar matters, people.
Grammar matters.
I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
Say yes.
Well, no, not to
Oh,
them.
you're married.
Well, that, and I don't know if that person is like typing from a jail cell or.
That's true. That could be. Oh, what if
That name
we
just
should pimp our podcast to the prison?
They use it as an interrogating tactic. There are 40 episodes of this crap.
confess or will make you listen to another one.
We just gave you a bottle of wake pills and
We'll make you be a guest.
It's like a Clockwork Orange type thing where they're strapped to a chair.
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
Did you know at Guantanamo Bay they actually did use strange interrogation tactics? Some of the less awful ones where they would play the Barney song for like hours at a time, really loud for the prisoners.
I'd confess to anything after
I know.
that.
Oh, yes.
So it's pretty sad. And one thing they did, and I don't know if this is funny or not, but it's just weird, is they would put them like their head in a glass box with a caterpillar. And apparently there's some kind of cultural significance to caterpillars being poisonous.
Oh.
Where some of these prisoners were from.
They're only poisonous to some.
No, they're not. They're not poisonous.
To certain kinds
Would it
of
like
people.
climb in their ear and like eat their brain?
They
or
thought
something?
it was poisonous though. And so
Oh.
they just took harmless caterpillars and they put them in the box and it would freak them the hell out. So
See, I wouldn't. I would just give up and I would just eat the caterpillar immediately and just be like, there, I've done it. And then, of course, I don't die. And
yeah. Then you tell your fellow prisoners, wait till they do the caterpillar thing to you.
just eat it.
And some guy's whistling, I love you, you love me.
Jeff, calm down. He's triggered.
Yeah, nowadays I don't. Yeah. I'm sorry. We're going to have to ask you politely for some very important information. Are you okay with this? You can tell me at any time.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Can you sign this form saying I didn't, I wasn't abusive in any way?
Pens trigger me.
That's the interrogation of the future,
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Well.
I think it's time for Would You Rather.
Oh, we got more of them.
good
I get to read them this time.
Yeah,
that's
I'm the only one who
true.
hasn't read them yet.
I'll just open the old drawer here. Oh,
Ew, what's that?
it's moving.
Ew, and it's wet.
I thought the batteries were dead on that one.
Just turn it off. It's vibrating like vigorously. That looks like it would be painful.
Was that the opening? What do you call it? Opening.
The opening act.
Opening
yeah.
act.
But that's like drilling the hole in his cabinet right there.
All right. So it's me and Zach. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, go.
Zach.
Jason won.
I didn't cheat, I promise.
Okay, Zach. Would you rather have a threesome with two strangers or have sex with any one of your choice?
Well, that seems like an easy one.
Yeah.
Sex with any one of my choice, of course.
Yeah.
So who did you choose?
I don't know. I'm trying to decide between you two. How about you guys do rock, paper, scissors, and then whoever wins,
No.
I have sex with.
Yeah, we have read some of these. So I'm going to have to pick and choose.
Okay, well, there's several pages worth. Ready?
Yep. Jason wins again.
Those words have never been spoken before on planet Earth.
Everything's coming up, Millhouse.
Okay, Zach, similar question, but would you rather have an orgy with complete strangers or have to have sex again with all of your exes?
Oh, that's awful.
I mean, you had to be attracted to them at one point, right?
His exes now or his exes then?
Well, now, I'm sure.
That's tough. I think
Could it be said that they would be strangers now?
I think I'd rather have sex with the devil I know. So the exes.
The exes?
Yep. Oh man, I'm sweating.
Okay, you guys ready?
Please, all of Zach's exes call into the show. 1-800.
Yes.
Ready? Oh wait, sorry.
Nope.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Haha, Zach finally won.
Yay.
Jason, would you rather lose your sexual organs or gain 80 pounds in weight that you can't lose?
So my sexual organs weigh 80 pounds?
I don't think that's what it was saying.
It's
but
a tumor.
gain 80 pounds of weight that you can never lose or lose your sexual organs.
So I've done that.
But if you gain another 80 pounds, I don't think you're going to be using your sex organs much anyway.
I would definitely gain the weight.
I would too, but I don't think I'm going to be using them if I'm gain 80 pounds
probably
anyway.
not. But still, I don't want to be half a man.
Yeah.
You'll never be half a man to me.
Oh,
Just in case your junk ever gets cut off.
you want it?
Yeah. Put it in a jar for me.
Gross.
Put it in that. In your water bottle.
Oh, it's awful.
Okay. Ready?
Oh. Ready?
I'm not good at this.
1, 2, 3.
Aw.
Did you have 3? So it's like Wolverine claws.
Oh.
That's adamantium. That cuts anything.
I win.
No.
Jason won again. Zach, would you rather get slapped in the face every time you thought about sex or sneeze continuously while having sex?
Oh. That's... You know, they say that a sneeze is like a certain percentage of an orgasm. So I'm going to go with sneezing during sex.
Sneezing can be quite satisfying sometimes.
So, yeah.
All right. Ready?
Oh, I lost.
Zach. Jason, would you rather have pubic hair that grows back 5 times as fast or have a micro penis?
The pubic hair.
Yeah. Because it doesn't say 5 times as long. It just says 5 times as fast.
I just cut this yesterday.
That makes the presumption that I cut it.
Yeah.
Is it shaped into a topiary?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
I don't know how many more you want to do, but
Let's do one more.
last one or no?
Is that okay?
Or
Yeah.
one-
Yep.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Zach lost again.
Loser.
Zach, would you rather be caught having sex at your workplace or have your boss knowingly watch you have sex?
What are all these sex questions? This is like somebody's like fantasy stuff, you know?
I'd rather have my botch knowingly watch. I'm going to make it weird.
You're your own boss, dude.
Yeah. So I just need a mirror is what you're
Filming
saying.
yourself, yeah.
Yep.
But back when you worked at that company you used to work for.
So
That shredding
I'd
company.
still rather have them knowingly. I'd rather not get caught because
That means you get in trouble.
that's awkward because I'm sure that they'd catch me in the weirdest position too. And that's not good for anyone.
Zach's like, that did happen actually, but I was in the bathroom by myself.
Right. So I want to go the other way.
Ah, yeah, Jim.
All right. Well, that was another episode of Would You Rather?
We're going to need
Adult
some more of
version.
Adult version for sure.
Nice.
I appreciate the adult questions, but are there like not adult questions on here.
There's some that are pretty mild, like
Yeah.
about love rather than sex and stuff like that.
I didn't do it was kind of a cursory
No,
search.
no,
so I didn't find a lot of good stuff.
Some of them are on there multiple times too. I noticed
It's okay.
that.
It's
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's fine.
but you can pick and choose.
These are very scientific.
Indeed.
And now it's time for show and tell.
Would you rather? No. He just turned off my mic.
No.
I know. I'm teasing.
Oh.
We were done with all the microaggressions.
you
Like,
just-
hey, Jason, you're done.
You're canceled.
Yep.
I just got canceled.
Cancel culture. All right. Who wants to go first?
Mm.
Oh, you guys looking at me? All right, I'll
Oh.
go first.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, how many of us have had babysitters?
That's a triggering question.
Damn it, I'm bad at this. Do you have
I've had a babysitter.
That's not related to you.
Well, I mean, your mom is our kid's daycare.
No, you're a
Provider.
babysitter.
Oh, you
Oh,
mean
me?
who-
Yeah.
somebody has
Like-
babysat me?
Yeah, when
When
you
we
guys
were
were
kids.
younger.
Oh, I thought you meant like had a babysitter. Know what I'm saying?
I think my parents never went on date nights, so it didn't really apply to us.
They never left.
I think,
Oh, they left you, but you guys were old enough, right?
well, I think when we were little kids, there may have been once or twice when my mom just had like the neighbor come over and watch us or something.
Oh, okay.
I had a babysitter.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I remember one time when my mom impaled her hand on a knife and
Oh.
the neighbor had to
Oh
run
my
her to the
gosh.
hospital. Like, my mom was mad at us and she slammed her hand down on the counter, but it was right by the sink and a steak knife was sticking up and went all the way through her hand and was sticking out the other side.
You've never told me this.
No?
Oh, man.
Did she learn her lesson?
That's what you get for trying to discipline us, Mom.
You put the steak knife there.
Anyway, she like grabbed and just yanked it out like a champ, but it was like spurting blood. Like,
Wow.
and my mom doesn't drive, and
Pretty badass, though. Just
Yeah.
take it out.
my dad wasn't home. He was like at work or something. And so she had to run next. We were all little kids, so none of us could drive. And we didn't even have a car anyways because my dad had our only car and he wasn't home.
Right.
So she had to run next door to the neighbor and have him drive her to the hospital while she got like another neighbor to just come over and watch us for a couple hours.
Wow.
That's like the closest thing to a babysitter I can remember. My parents didn't do date nights or anything, so they never went out together. So they didn't need someone to stay home and watch us.
Well, thanks, John, for sharing more of your trauma with us.
And my mom was a stay-at-home mom. So like when we didn't have school, we'd just be at home
Yeah.
with my mom. But
That's crazy, though. I half expected you to say she turned on the burner and like cauterized it, on the stove.
Right? Or she just held it up and it healed like Wolverine.
But yeah, she got super lucky. I guess it went between the bones in her hand, and so it did not sever
Wow.
any tendons or arteries, and her hand was completely functional after that, and she barely even has a scar anymore. But
That's
yeah, it was all the way in the
crazy.
palm and blade sticking out the top part of it.
Oh,
She's like,
man.
look, kids, I'm a superhero. And she's like swinging it around.
But anyway,
She's like on the way out. If I die, it's your fault.
More trauma.
I hope your mom doesn't listen to this.
no.
All right, well, this is about babysitters. This is the 15 babysitting horror stories that prove children are too much to handle. So, number one, the screams heard at night. My sister and I were babysitting this little girl who would run around in the dark and giggle like a haunted doll. After we put her to bed, she would sneak out, cut all the lights off, and scream. And when we asked her why she would do that, she said, I just wanted to scream in the dark. Not to mention her parents came home 3 hours later than they said they would. When they arrived home and we told them about the situation, they told us, yeah, sometimes she does that at night. So weird.
Cool. You're raising Damien the female. And
So number two is this person says, when I was 16, I babysat a very precocious 4-year-old. One time she told me she needed to use the restroom, and I asked her if she needed help. She was very insistent that no, she was a big girl and could do it all by herself. After 15 minutes, I started to worry and knocked on the door. She was like, I'm fine, don't come in, which prompted me to open the door. The sink, toilet, even the bottom parts of the mirror that she could reach were covered in her mom's menstrual pads. Guess she thought they were stickers or something.
sweet. They're not, though?
They're not.
They're not stickers?
Yeah, don't
Okay.
do that.
Learned a lesson.
I used to babysit 3 boys, a set of twins and their younger brother. One time they threw a stool down the stairs and put a huge hole in the wall. On another occasion, when I was giving them all a bath, one of the twins screamed, and I looked over to see the youngest squatting and pooping in the tub.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I remember a poop in the tub incident with my oldest when he was a toddler.
I remember a pooping in the tub incident with me last week. So
I remember, too.
Were you trying to like draw on the walls with it?
I was.
We caught our son doing that when he was like 2.
That's gross.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is from BuzzFeed. I'm sorry. It was from Kayla Harrington, so I don't want to get sued. But let's see. I'm not going to read all 15. So here's one. It says, I was babysitting a 3-year-old whose grandfather just passed a couple weeks earlier. We were out on a walk when she started singing, I only have 2 grandmas alive, very enthusiastically. Yeah.
Kids are weird.
Yes, they are.
Once while babysitting this 8-year-old, we went on a walk by a creek. When I bent down to take a picture, she was suddenly right behind me and whispered into my ear, if I were to push you, no one would ever find you.
Cool.
All right, let's see. I was sitting for an 8-year-old boy. He came up to me and told me to close my eyes and hold out my hands for a surprise. He then put a cold, dead hamster in my open palms. His parents explained after my very panicked phone call that there was nothing to worry about. It had simply been stored in the freezer until the ground was soft enough to give it a proper burial. Needless to say, I did not volunteer my services again.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Kids don't have logic online until they're like 7. So what was that 8-year-old doing?
Or ever, some cases. I was babysitting my mom's friend's 9-year-old daughter when I was 15. She told me she wanted to show me something and took me to her mom's bedroom. She then pulled a shoebox out from underneath the bed and opened it to show me a huge vibrating dildo. I was mortified, but I pretended not to know what it was. Told her to put it back and to not go through her mother's things. Awkward.
Like that thing we found in your drawer.
No.
The opening act.
You have that, not me. See, my babysitting horror story is that this kid who I was babysitting told me I was ugly.
Aw.
That's sad.
Here's another one. My mom ran a daycare out of her house.
Hey, like Jason's mom.
When I was about 13, there was one child who was a nightmare. The last straw for my mom was when she caught the kid with a pair of scissors in my younger brother's closet. He had been carving into the closet wall.
Wow.
Let's see. I was babysitting an infant, and the baby's mom left a bottle of pumped breast milk for them to eat. After I fed the little guy, I burped him. He got a little belch out, and being fairly new to burping infants, I assumed we were good. I turned him to face me and started playing peekaboo. The little guy laughed and then projected vomited breast milk, The Exorcist style.
Sweet.
So anyway, I know John has a babysitting story where he humiliated himself. I'm sure he wants to tell it to everybody. You remember that one time?
Oh, I'm not telling that one. I come across like a real ass in that story. I'm not going to tell that one.
It's a funny story.
How about I tell a different story on a date instead?
All right.
Just because you demand some blood from
stories. me. Tell us a story, John.
Story.
Okay, here's a story of a stupid joke I tried to tell that on a date years back that did not go over very well. I was on a second date with this girl, and I guess the first date I had been scruffy. I think I had like my goatee and my sideburns. And then on the second date, I was clean shaven. And she commented that I looked like a completely different person when I was clean shaven. And so I said, what did I say? I'm like, oh yeah, the scruffy guy was my brother. We switched off with each other's dates so we could meet twice as many women. I expected like a nervous laugh or whatever or something like that, but the sarcasm went completely over her head.
Oh, dude.
And she just went off. She's like, that's horrible. You guys are sick. And like after having her rant for a minute, I'm just like, I was just joking. I shaved.
Oh,
Did
man.
you take her home after that?
No, we still went out, and I actually went out with her a couple times after that.
That's not on you that she's that dumb. It's
Well,
not on you.
I guess it was a second date. I guess she didn't know me well enough to know my sense of humor, but
I don't know.
But yeah, so don't make jokes like that if you don't know the person really, really well.
Oh, that's the best time to make those jokes, when you have that credibility you're trying to destroy.
That's how
you make the jokes.
But the other times I went out with her, I made sure to be scruffy again. I did not shave before a date with her again.
I met this woman at a bar, and she had a bald head, and she sent me a text like a month and a half later, because I had given her my information and she had lost it in her dryer and found it, and she was like, "Oh, hey, I really wanted to meet up, get drinks." She's like, "This is Nikki. I'm the one with the bald head." And I said, "I'm sorry, I give my number out to so many women with bald heads. Could you be more specific?" And she picked up on it immediately and knew what the joke was and said, "Oh yeah, brown eyes, blah blah blah, nice rack." And she played back, so that's the kind of, it's okay to use that humor, I think.
I guess it depends on the person.
Well, my first impression on Megan was a joke. She was in a cubicle next to me, and the girl behind me was talking about how she had a date tonight. She was going on about it. I was in the department with all women, so, And so I said, "Hey, don't forget, the best way to a man's heart is through his rib cage." And then all of a sudden, Megan, who hadn't spoken to me for because we were all brand new to this office, just started laughing really loud.
And you're like, that one, that's the one.
No, I mean, not yet, but that's the first impression I had on her.
Nice.
So, humor is important to me.
I agree.
I think the world needs to laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
The planet needs an enema, and then we need to laugh. So
yes.
That would be funny that instead of the Great Flood, we have a great enema. I mean, that's basically what it was, but,
a giant poop stream comes out of the Antarctic.
Yep. Into space. Yep. Floats to other planets. They're like, what the hell?
Oh, this is from Earth.
Snowflakes.
That's what I imagine is the entire galaxy is alive with traffic and everybody knows everybody. But they all just skirt
avoid us.
Our solar system.
They take the long way around when they're going to another planet.
We're the
to
shitty,
avoid us.
We're the
mobile
shitty
home
neighborhood.
park. Yep.
Of the universe.
Those UFOs are wrong turns.
Oh shit, we're here. We gotta get out of here.
Shit, this is Earth.
We're like the ghetto of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Man.
I really wouldn't be surprised.
Actually, I do have a babysitting story if you want one.
Sure.
If you specifically want a babysitting story, but it doesn't involve me so much as it is my kids.
Okay.
We always, as you've probably, I think we've mentioned this before, obviously you know this, but our kid's daycare provider is Jason's mom, who runs a daycare from her house.
Yeah.
And when the kids are in school, we bring them there every day, and they always try and bring as many toys as they can. They'll stuff their pockets till they're overflowing. We'll tell them 2 toys and that's it. And so they try and get away with more. One time, my son Eric, when he was probably about 4, he didn't even try and disguise it. He flat out brought a whole bucket full of little toys from his room and said, "Okay, can I bring all these to daycare?" We're like, "No, son, we've talked about this. Just bring 2 toys. That's it." He's like, "Okay." Trundles away back to his room, comes back with just 1 toy in each hand. Says, "Can I bring these, Daddy?" It's like, "Okay, that's fine." So we go to daycare, and as soon as we walk in there, he starts laughing. And I'm like, "What's so funny?" And he unzips his coat, and all the toys start spilling out. He had dumped the entire bucket of toys down the front of his coat. And then he just looks at me with a big old grin. He goes, "I brought all of them." Something like that. You just kind of have to tip your hat and say, "You won this round."
Well
son.
played, son.
Exactly.
Well played.
I brought all of them. That's adorable.
The thing that he doesn't know is that it's all part of the long game. He thinks I've forgotten about this, but in 50 years when I die and he realizes he's been left out of the will, we'll see who gets the last laugh.
You're buried with all of it.
Here's your money, Eric. I buried myself with all of it.
You're going to have to dig it up.
Yep. Which is illegal.
So yeah,
which is stupid.
Not in Alabama.
That's my babysitting story.
That's how you get dates in Alabama. Get a shovel and a flashlight.
Grave robbing?
Yeah. I'm into it.
I'm not saying take your dates. I'm like, that's where you pick your date up from.
I want to wear a cock ring when I'm dead. I want them to bury me with all my jewelry and my sex toys. Just like plug them in wherever they need to go. Put them on.
We're trying to pay our respects, and you have a ball gag in your mouth.
Yep.
The grave robbing thing, though, reminds me of a similar joke I told a different girl on the date once. And she asked what my friends and I like to do on like group dates. And I said grave robbing. And she got all offended. Like, ew, you guys do that?
What?
No. That was clearly a joke. So apparently my sense of humor doesn't always come across as being a joke.
Oh, I hear you, man.
I say it too matter of fact or what, I don't know. But
well,
what I think are clear, obvious jokes, people who don't know me very well are not picking up on them.
I can tell you this, when Megan kind of started to get to know you, like when we'd go out to dinner with you and your wife, one night we came back, she's like, John's really funny. I'm surprised. He seems so serious all the time.
I thought he was like a serial killer or something.
I still think that.
My wife's friends at work say the same thing. Like when they hear me make jokes and stuff, and they're like, your husband's actually funny. I thought he was like a super serious, straight-laced type person.
Which is really funny because we've grown up knowing you, and we know that like you're one of the funniest people in our group, and so it's kind of surprises me when people get that vibe from you. It's like, no, John?
I can see it because John's one of those people I can't read. Like you can read people, you know.
I can't read?
Like,
no, he can't read.
I can't read you.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
John's straight up illiterate.
My illiteracy
idiot
on the DL.
That's
I
why
told
you have
that
to
was personal.
resort to grave robbing.
He just sits at work and clicks. He doesn't even know what he's doing. They're like, keep up the good work, John. Are you okay?
Yep. Equipment malfunction.
Yeah.
Well, the equipment being my hands.
Oh. Yeah, that takes me back.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, we're doing show and tell, right?
Yeah. You going next, Zach?
Still waiting on that enema.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead. You've already got your.
You're bleeding though. Like, no, I'm just teasing.
Rub it everywhere.
You're weeping blood, vomiting fire.
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't need to talk about Taco Bell. Go ahead.
So anyway, another year is in the books. And so there's no better way to take stock of the previous year than to go over the best Florida Man stories of the year.
Yes.
But before we get into the top Florida Man stories of 2021, let's warm up a bit with some good ones from the previous decade that we haven't talked about before. June 11, 2012, 46-year-old Florida man Everett Lagas was arrested outside of Emerald City Strip Club in Murdoch for repeatedly calling 911 to report that the club owner refused to let his kitten into the jiggle joint.
Sweet.
I mean, they call it the Pussycat Club. Come on, you gotta let...
Does he just go in and like throw cats at the dancers?
I like the idea.
It says, when the deputies spoke with Lagas, they noted that he appeared intoxicated. They told him he needed to leave the premises and assisted in calling a taxi for him. When the taxi arrived, Lagas wouldn't cooperate with the driver. Instead, he began yelling and causing a disturbance and insisted the club owner had committed a crime by denying entry to him and his cat. He kept on calling 911 on the cell phone, even though the deputies were already on the scene. Yeah. He was booked into the Charlotte County Jail on charges of misuse of the 911 system, disorderly intoxication, trespassing after warning, and resisting arrest without violence. He was being held on $4,000 bond, and his kitten is in the custody of animal control.
Oh, I was going to ask if they jailed it.
They put it in with like these big thugs, and they're like all petting the cat.
Yeah.
Let's see.
A cute little thing, aren't you, Mr. Snuffles?
Aw. Too bad you're an accessory to misuse of 911. Put these little cuffs on.
Why do they have those?
That guy could apparently be your new mayor. In 2014, 46-year-old Florida man Boyd Corbin ran for mayor of a small town called Wilton Manors just 2 years after he was arrested for assault after attacking a drag queen with a tiki torch while dressed in a KKK costume.
Oh.
Which at a Halloween party, which he said he was wearing ironically.
Yeah, that's something you don't wear ironically.
No. You don't attack drag queens with a tiki torch. And you don't run for mayor 2 years after getting arrested for that.
Yeah. And you don't
wear that. Wear
get
it costume.
Get what I'm wearing.
It's ironic. Yeah.
Only Cartman can do that.
Not only what?
Man.
Cartman from South Park.
Oh.
In 2015, 31-year-old Florida man John Arwood and 25-year-old Florida woman Amber Campbell were stuck in a janitor's closet at Daytona State College for 2 days before Arwood finally thought to call the authorities on his cell phone. However, when the police finally arrived, they realized that the closet was not locked and they could have just opened the door and walked out at any time.
Oh, man.
Please tell me they were on drugs.
Yes, it says inside the closet they found feces and copper scouring pads often used to smoke crack.
Feces is used to smoke crack?
I think the copper scouring
If you look at the pictures of them, this woman looks a lot older than 25, and she has a big dollar sign tattoo on her throat.
I don't know.
My kind of lady.
They look like the type that would be locked in a closet.
They're the reation aliens think that we're the ghetto.
Stuck in a closet that's not even locked for 2 days.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, it is.
In 2017, 28-year-old Florida man Jonathan Hinkle called 911 dispatchers saying he needed a ride to Hooters.
It's an emergency.
He couldn't get a ride, and he said he had to help his elderly grandmother who had fallen ill and apparently worked at Hooters, according to him. Cops later learned that not only was his granny perfectly fine, then, Hinky was arrested on charges of misusing 911.
But did she work at...
I was going to say, did she work at Hooters?
Know.
No, she did not.
She just liked to wear the shirt.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah, I think so.
In 2018, 26-year-old Florida man Maylee Alvarez Aguilar was arrested for shoplifting after he tried to steal a full rack of ribs by stashing it down the front of his pants.
Anyone want some cock ribs?
When they frisked the hungry man, they also found he was smuggling fried chicken, 2 packs of hamburger buns, and some mashed potatoes down his pants as well.
I guess, does he get to keep them at that point? Because
I mean,
I don't think
you can't give them back.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If I was the cop, I'd like, eat up. I've taken pictures. You're going to jail. You know?
But enjoy the spoils.
Enjoy the spoils.
2019, a Florida man, Wesley Dasher Scott, after being hauled into jail on marijuana charges, pulled 3 syringes from his rectum during a strip search and insisted they weren't his. They belonged to someone else.
Jason, you put your syringes in my butthole again.
While you were sleeping.
What the hell?
Some people have a backpack. I have Zach. Can I have $3, please? Just pull it out. Pay the man, Zach.
Yeah. Also in 2019, 27-year-old Florida man Timothy Kepke was bitten and arrested for trying to get an alligator drunk. His pal had caught it with his bare hands in Palm City, Florida, and the alligator was apparently not a fan of booze and bit him. Both men were later arrested for public intoxication and for abuse of an animal.
Tempting to booze up an alligator.
Boozing up a gator. So Florida. October 22nd, 2019, 48-year-old Florida man Anthony Seegers got a DUI on a Segway while driving it while wasted back and forth in front of a police station. Polk County cops say.
Come and get me. Come and get me, copper. Come and get me.
The battery runs out. Oh, damn.
On October 23rd, 2019, Florida jailbird on parole Jason Aaron Gibson was allowed to have work released at a small petting zoo on the Stock Island Detention Center until fellow inmates ratted him out for feeding all the petting zoo's iguanas to Irwin the gator.
Damn. That is triggering.
Yeah, it reminds me of, what was it, Happy Gilmore?
Yeah. Yep.
Poor Carl Weathers.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just a bit of a warm-up. Here's some of the top ones from 2021 to celebrate a great year.
Sweet.
Yeah, if I can find them. You have to edit this. Phone's being
Edit.
Thank you, because that'll bring my attention back to to listening.
Zach, stop playing with yourself and edit this out.
Aww.
Okay, 21-year-old Florida man Adrian Lee Gonzalez Bradway was arrested for jumping on the neighbor's trampoline naked before breaking into her home while still naked.
Sweet.
Bradway was charged with burglary and criminal mischief with property damage of more than $200.
And emotional damage worth billions.
Billions.
Let's find a few more. 65-year-old Florida man Lewis Wyatt Branson was pulled over while driving with a clown mannequin in the passenger seat of his car and having a live grenade in the back of his pickup. Charged with driving with an expired license, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a firearm,
Possession of an explosive device.
possession of ammo by a convicted felon, possession of marijuana, and possession of cocaine.
Wow.
In addition to the original charges. Doesn't say why he had the clown mannequin in the...
Why
that point,
wouldn't he?
I was going to say, at that point, are we even asking?
Does it really even matter anymore?
All I know is I want it.
Yeah, no kidding. Put it in people's windows, just like at night.
Yeah. I think I'm the stinky one.
Nah,
Yep.
it's me.
No, it's me. We just all smell.
On July 15th, 32-year-old Florida man William Hodge was accused of stealing an alligator from an enclosure at Congo River Golf Course in Daytona Beach shores.
Right on.
Witnesses say they saw him swinging it around by the tail and trying to toss on the roof of a building.
What? Why?
When police asked him why he was doing it, he said he was trying to teach you the lesson. He was charged with theft and cruelty to an animal.
That's what you get for being all gatory.
He ate my slipper.
And in July, at least 35 people were injured at Miami International Mall when the suspect sprayed bear repellent inside a Bath and Body Works before stealing 2 bags of candles and running off.
What are you in for? Grand Theft Candle.
I was going to have myself a nice bath, light some candles, melt some chocolate on the stove, and turn on some Barry White.
Just some me time.
On October 10th, a Florida man wielding a sword sets fire in a roadway, then floods the police booking office after his arrest. Authorities in Brevard County said they arrived to a fire in a Titusville Road and found a man holding a sword and drinking alcohol. Police said the fire was in front of Scott Taylor's home, and when they arrived, he was holding the sword and had a knife in his waistband. In his other hand, they said he was chugging from a half-gallon size Captain Morgan spiced rum bottle.
There can be only one.
It says Taylor couldn't provide an answer as to why he was doing that when the police asked him.
I don't know. Seemed fun.
On October 19th, Florida man Edward William Edward. It's not Edward, it's Edward.
Edwards?
Edward William Rodriguez robbed a Waffle House of its napkins using finger guns.
Like
you hold up your finger, pow, pow. A Florida man was put in jail in Madison County after he decided to improvise during an alleged robbery. Sheriff David Harper said Sheriff David Harper said witnesses told deputies that Edward William Rodriguez entered the Waffle House with a small dog, pointed his hands into finger guns, and yelled, "Y'all get on the ground, y'all are getting robbed." Rodriguez admitted he was high and drunk at the time of the robbery, which ended when he grabbed some napkins and ran out of the store. Deputies found the would-be armed robber at his home, where he admitted to robbing the restaurant of its napkins.
It's a Waffle House.
Victimless crime right there. He was just having a good time.
If anything, it's like Waffle House is just as guilty.
Take that, Waffle House.
Because it's Waffle House?
Yes,
Yeah.
IHOP is better. Waffle House deserved it.
I think IHOP's probably on the same level as Waffle House.
Yeah. That was the last one, so.
All right.
Best of Florida, man, 2021.
So who wants to move to Florida?
Woohoo!
Yeah.
We'd fit it right in with some of these guys.
Some?
Is it Florida is the reason that we're considered the ghetto of the universe, according to the aliens? Is it all of Florida's
It's
fault?
not helping, yeah.
In like alien news, it's Earthman, not Florida Man.
Yeah, exactly.
But most of them still come from Florida.
Right.
8 animals with real superpowers, because I love my animals.
Hey.
By Michael Swaim, August 31st, 2008.
What website is that from?
Cracked. Thank you. I forgot. It's no secret animals are out to kill us. While we spend hundreds of billions of dollars fighting the terrorist threat overseas, animal sleeper cells are biding their time developing strange and fabulous powers far beyond those of man. Hawks sharpening their talons, giant squids flexing their suckers, dolphins waggling their prehensile penises, and leading the brigade, a very special cat that knows when you're going to die. And that's only the tip of the furry iceberg. So, as a public service, we've decided to profile some of the world's most superpowered creatures. As far as we know, none of them are on the endangered species list.
So kill away.
Kill away. Though with the help of fear-mongering articles like this and some generous gun control legislation, we can change all that. If we don't, it may be us humans living in protected enclosures and spending our days watching pornography to encourage mating behavior like nature's loser, the panda. He really is. Isn't the panda like the biggest loser of the animal kingdom?
It really is.
It's sad. All right.
It gets pity sex.
Yeah.
My spirit animal's a panda.
Aw. The animal, gecko. The power, atomic climbing, how it works. Whoa. Atomic climbing. This article is weirdly formatted. The power, atomic climbing, how it works. When they're not using their British accents to hawk car insurance, geckos spend their time scurrying up surfaces with the ease of a machine specifically designed to do the same.
I take issue, by the way, it's a New Zealander accent.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
I'm triggered.
If you're triggered. But this isn't just some snail class gooey shit climbing we're talking about here. Every square millimeter of a gecko's foot pads contains 14,000 tiny hairs called setae. Each of which branches into about 500 little tiny spatulae, so small that they are below the wavelength of visible light.
Oh, weird.
Using these invisible atomic microfibers, geckos are able to harness van der Waals interactions on a molecular level, sticking to almost every known surface outside of Teflon. Their grip is so strong, if it used all of its gripping power at once, a single adult gecko could hold aloft 290 pounds. At this point, it's important to note that our brave men and women in uniform almost all weigh under 290 pounds, making them prime targets for roving bands of gecko hurl squads. Spirit animal of Spider-Man, the human fly, Dan Osmond. Additional powers can lick their own eyeballs and expel feces when threatened.
I can do that.
I know you can.
Projectile pooping.
Get back!
Yeah, when he opened the door, I was like, boo! And he's... Our only defense, should they rise against us, outfit our soldiers with the latest in Teflon bodysuit technology.
And, baseball bats.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing as they're like the size of your pinky.
Since we are we're running against time, I'm going to skip some of these.
Sorry,
All right.
that's my fault.
Oh, no, not at all. The animal, bombardier beetle. The power, energy blasts. How it works. A number of animal species are able to project ink, foul-smelling chemicals, or feces from their bodies, Jason. But in these cases, there is little to fear beyond stained clothing, a tomato sauce bath, or social ostracism. The bombardier beetle, however, takes bodily expulsion to a new threat level by harnessing the power of chemical reactions to releasing a boiling, exploding liquid from its upper body up to 70 times per encounter. In short, it shits napalm. We don't even need
I can only do once an encounter, just so you know.
And then you have to nap for an hour.
Eat a turkey sandwich.
That's what it feels like after you eat some like hot wings, though.
Oh, yeah.
When you're on the can, that's what it feels like you're expelling from your body.
Napalm?
Yes.
We don't even need to explain what kind of threat this poses to our citizens and toilet paper industry alike. Let's see. The animal, platypus. The power, electrolocation. How it works, count your senses. If you're fortunate, you've got one hand raised, 5 little fingers splayed in sensorial triumph. If you're less fortunate, a birth defect or lathe accident has knocked you down to 3 or 4, or else you got your fingers chopped off in a bar fight. But if you're a platypus, you get to raise 6 fingers, all presumably snapped from the hands of Girl Scouts and dangling from a malevolent bill. Platypi are monotremes. The only other monotreme is the echidna. I guess that's how you say that.
Is that Knuckles from Sonic?
Yes. That's
Oh, okay. Who we already know are after our Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, that's a Sonic reference.
A type of mammal endowed with the sixth sense of electroreception, the ability to sense electric fields generated by muscular contraction. That means they can sense your directional location if you so much as move a muscle.
Weird.
Even a blind, deaf platypus with no sense of smell knows right where you are, and he and his echidna friends are on their way with tire irons, and they're angry drunk.
They are Australian, so of course they are.
Yeah.
Let's see, nobody cares about hummingbirds.
Nope.
Nobody cares about archerfish. The animal, ring-tailed cat. The power, agility, how it works. Your average house cat is already fairly threatening. Claws, the evil eye, and an internal righting mechanism that guarantees that no matter how high a building you drop them off of, the best you're going to get is 4 broken kitty legs. Enter the ring-tailed cat, probably shimmying backwards down a pipe. The ring-tailed cat has taken cat-like agility to an absurd degree, routinely performing cartwheels on narrow branches in order to change direction, rotating their feet up to 180 degrees, and climbing up crevices in rock by ricochet jumping back and forth between each side.
What?
That's right. They just can't. That's right. They can't just out agile us. They've got to rub it in our faces too. Word has it that the Russians are busy recruiting ringtails for their 2012 floor gymnastics team. All that, and the evil eye is strong as ever.
Can I see a picture?
It doesn't. Oh, maybe it does.
Weird.
They're not really cats.
No.
No. They're marsupials, right?
I don't think they're marsupials either. We actually have them in southern Utah.
Oh, really?
So they're not Australian. Yeah, they're.
Huh.
All right. The animal, octopus. The power, every fucking thing.
And being a dick.
How it works, the octopus may very well be the biggest threat to national security since brown people.
Is that in there?
Yes. They're the most intelligent invertebrate in the world, can detach their arms, spray ink, move in perfect cadence with underwater currents, squeeze through any space larger than a quarter, and change color to blend in with their surroundings. Due to the inordinate, I can't say
Inordinate.
It says they're related to raccoons, ringtail cats.
Okay.
Due to the inordinate number of superhuman powers they are granted, current biological studies assert that they may, in fact, be God.
I feel like we're going through a Pokedex, you know?
I know, right? Let's see.
I've been playing Pokemon.
Should they rise against us? If the octopi are attacking, there's really not a whole lot we can do. The best plan would be to nuke the Earth to hell and start over. There's a good chance the radioactive mutants spawned in the apocalypse won't be as powerful or weird looking anyway. And that's the end.
And then there's that one poisonous one, the ring octopus. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's a really poisonous octopus.
Oh yeah, they're Australian, I think.
Why is Australia?
Of course they're Australian.
Like, why are all the dangerous animals over there?
Everything in Australia can kill you.
Have you ever met an Australian? They're dangerous too.
Well, they showed me his knife, but it was,
Was it a spoon? Be
it
honest.
was really a spoon.
Yeah.
So, all right, this has been awesome, and yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Hope you have a great night.
And please give generously to Zach's memorial fund.